all, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we discuss all things astrology. And today, 2021 astrology, what we can expect from the year ahead and how we can lean into the themes presented by the cosmic dance of all of the planets. We are just part of nature, and by syncing with the natural cycles of the planets, we can lean into what is more supported in our lives rather than forcing what is not. I always say to my clients, why would you force a love year when work is really working strong in your chart? By syncing with what's happening in the cosmos, it kind of allows you to have more efficiency and more effectiveness in your life because you're working with what is working with you. It's like swimming downstream rather than forcing your way upstream. I'm a Pisces. You know I love good fish pun. And I always say to be forewarned is to be forearmed. I don't believe that we can play God and skirt any inevitable lessons that are going to come up, so on and so forth. So when you hear this, try not to inspire any fear within your mind. I'm giving you these themes so that you can co-create, your highest and best good with it, plan accordingly, and to make the most of what this year has to offer. Before I dive in, I do want to mention I'm having a workshop on 2021 astrology. I'll talk about collective themes more in depth, as well as expand on each attendee's birth chart and what's really activating within their chart and what they should kind of look out for. So if you watch this video and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to dive in deeper, head to the link in my description. It is Sunday, January 3rd at 11:15 a.m. PST, and I would so love to have you there. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first aspect that I want to talk about is the Great Conjunction. And you might be like, what are you talking about? That happened in 2020. And you're right. Look at you, Astro Goddess. Yes, it did happen in 2020, but there is, it did set a cycle that will be reverberated through much of years to come, including 2021. I mean, this honestly sets the cycle until 2153. I have a whole video about it that you're welcome to watch. But this happens at the end of 2020 and it sets a tone, right? And I do have another video on it, so I don't want to go too in depth. But with Jupiter meeting up with Saturn, it really is this fresh new start around growth and around progressiveness, albeit in a very slow, steady, diligent, disciplined way. Jupiter is growth, Saturn is restriction. So it's like we are able to move forward in our lives, but at a very slow and steady pace. We're able to grow within the structures in our life. So I do believe this is a new start in terms of really powerful new shifts, legislations, etc., but it'll come at a slower and steadier rate. And that's a collective theme as well as for your life. Look which house holds 0 degrees Aquarius to know where this new start of something really powerful, really innovative, really, optimistic is happening within your chart. So, Uranus is squaring Jupiter and Saturn this year. And this is also kind of echoed in the Great Conjunction that I just spoke about, because the Great Conjunction does square Uranus and Taurus, and they'll continue to dance together throughout the course of 2021. 2021 is a year of change. 2020 was a year of foundation. Much of the energy of 2020 was around destruction. And this is because of that Saturn conjunct Pluto that occurred in January. 2021 is about rebuilding. They're similar in that they're both chaotic, albeit 2020 more so. But 2021 does have this energy of moving forward in some ways, whereas 2020 was about crumbling our existing structures to kind of make visible the underlying gaps in the foundation and ways that we were falling short. And 2021, now that we've kind of torn apart the structures in our life, 2021 is about rebuilding, although it might be a very here and there chaotic sort of rebuild. I say this because of Uranus. The theme with Uranus is expect the unexpected. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly how this will manifest, but I can tell you a couple of themes that I think. Money will continue to fluctuate like crazy. Uranus is in Taurus. Taurus rules the banking system. So money's going up and down. Bitcoin will jump up and go down. All sorts of currency will be really strange. And a lot of people have pointed to this and said that, Uranus is change and innovation, and pointed to digital currencies and things of the like. I'm not a financial guru, so I can't necessarily attest to what you should do with your finances. But the biggest thing that I can say is try not to get emotional about it, because things will go up and you're excited, and then all of a sudden they go down and you're not. So I would seriously not look at your stock portfolio if you have one, not look at your Bitcoin if you have one. Like, investments are just gonna go up and down, and interest rates up and down, inflation up and down. Like, money is doing funky things. So I would have some sort of strategy that makes sense for your life, whether that's, saving, having some physical cash on hand, making sure that you have a nice cushion for those moments when things dip down. Money's going to continue to fluctuate, especially since Uranus is squaring Saturn. And a lot of this could be the ramifications of 2020 and the economy trying to recover, like, spikes of stimulus and then like going down. Like, the economy is going to continue to fluctuate in 2021 and to kind of battle with the structures, Saturn. And we're dealing, Saturn is karma, and much of 2021, we're dealing with the ramifications of what we did to our like small businesses this year, and to, the local mom and pop shops. Like, people are in a hole that's going to take a long time for them to get out of. And 2021 is this energy about trying to rebuild our structures, but things go up and then they go down. It's very kind of here and there, up and down. There's also going to continue to be some challenges between progressive government and being shut down by the old way. There really is this battle between the status quo and innovating to the next thing, ascending as humanity or as a government. So there's this battle between the old way and the new way. And the more that the old way feels like they're losing their grip on things, the crazier and more extreme they're going to get. You can expect that government will be trying to introduce these really progressive bills or these laws that really put us forward, but getting dragged back by, not really feeling like they're able to make that progress. But I do think some will be able to get over the finish line, because with the square to Uranus, and it could be upsets, just random sudden innovations. Another theme I would look at is dealing with the karma around technology. With Saturn in Aquarius, we're gonna begin to hear a lot more stories about the dangers of technology and what it's doing to us. Aquarius governs, technology, innovation with Saturn and Aquarius. It's so crazy when you think about that there's no like board who like, whenever, big tech releases something, who like decides like, is this like good for humanity? Like, should this be out there? There's no board like that. So I think with Saturn and Aquarius, there's going to continue to be some ramification in regards to tech, which could be losing a bit of control around AI, data breaches for sure, really just random things that happen. Remember, Uranus is random, it's squaring Saturn and Aquarius, that make us come to terms and confront the reality of technology and what it's doing to us and the ramification that it holds. Saturn, it's there to whip us in shape in regards to technology. Sudden data breaches would be Uranus, or even new innovations would definitely be Uranus. But I will say, I wouldn't jump on the first technology that is introduced in 2021, because with these Uranus squares, it could, Saturn square Uranus, we could be dealing with karma ramifications for years to come. So the biggest thing with 2021 is really have a loose grip. Like, try not to get too emotional in highs and lows and ups and downs and lefts and rights, because things are almost chasing. It's like, when I think of the energy of 2021, I think of this kaleidoscope. It's like things will absolutely look this way, and then all of a sudden you look back at it and it looks totally different way. It's all of these colors, and it can very much be an exciting, stimulating year, but it's not really a year where we're gonna get any, like definitive feeling of stability. And I do want to mention, I did a video called The Astrology of Social Media, and I examined a couple of charts, and two of them were Aquarius suns, and it's YouTube and Facebook. Saturn will be going through Aquarius in 2021 and squaring Uranus and Taurus, which is money. And I would not be surprised to see the monetization on those two specific social media platforms to be a little funky. I can definitely see on YouTube this yanking of monetization from a whole group of creators, or trying to, like suppress or censor people so much that people leave, or someone tries to establish a competitor of some way. Like, it does feel like the monetization of these two particular platforms. And for Facebook, that would be like ad accounts, not being able to run ads, trying to censor ads, censoring whole industry. It does feel like how money functions on these platforms is going to shift. So just wanted to mention that as well. On the note of Aquarius, there will be a crazy Aquarius stellium. In February, 6 planets will be in Aquarius. And, Aquarius, this is why I'm saying it's like an unstable year, but it's unstable for a reason. Like, 2020 was chaotic and we ended the year like in a worse spot than when we started it, obviously. But 2021, it's like a chaotic year, but we're rebuilding. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be a lot of growing pains as we try to like move things along. And with this Aquarius stellium, this would be when aliens arrive, honestly, when all of these planets are in Aquarius. It's 6 of them, like at one point in the month of February. Sun will be in Aquarius, Moon will be in Aquarius, Mercury will be in Aquarius, Venus will be in Aquarius, Jupiter will be in Aquarius, and Saturn will be in Aquarius. 6 planets! And Aquarius is the future, innovation, aliens for sure. This is when they'll come. Just kidding. I don't know if they'll come, but if they were going to come at this time, it would definitely be this year.
So Aquarius as a sign is an interesting blend of the old and the new. Traditionally, its ruler is Saturn, which is the planet of time and structures that are existing. In modern astrology, Aquarius's ruler is Uranus, which, as I've touched on, is the planet of innovation. So while Aquarius is a future-focused, idealistic sign, it can be a very stubborn sign. It works within the structures to initiate change. So it's an interesting blend of the old and the new.
Now, the nodes and thus the eclipses will continue in Gemini and Sagittarius as they have in 2020. They will be squaring Neptune in Pisces. And this is huge because Neptune fogs and confuses, and the eclipses and the nodes of Gemini and Sagittarius are very much about knowledge and how we source it. And with Neptune, there's this energy around misinformation and manipulation of a message to elicit a certain response or emotion. Like I said, with the Uranus square stuff, there's going to be some crazy news coming out, particularly in regards to technology. But this aspect does indicate that like what you see is not necessarily to be believed. Like, this does feel like more and more news or even social media will be kind of manipulated in terms of, plants like content farms, deep fakes, things where they're trying to sway public opinion and manipulating it. It's all smoke and mirrors, right? With the Neptune energy. So the biggest thing is just verify your sources. It's so crazy how like you could Google anything and find an article that will supplement your thoughts on something. It's bizarre. It's like the internet has created this free-for-all, and there is this energy of 2021 of finally kind of seeing some ramifications for what it is that we're doing, and like this kind of collective confusion of like what is true, what is false. And I would definitely say with North Node and Gemini, like really searching for in your life to embrace facts, the objective reality, rather than Sagittarius, which is like, this is what I believe, this is what I stand for, this is what I have faith in. Like with the North Node and Gemini, being rational, being objective, trying not to get too much in your emotion. Seeing isn't necessarily believing. And with the eclipses continuing to square Neptune, it's like we won't know who to trust, what to trust. That is Mercury will be retrograde in the air signs in 2021. And there is this energy around starting to deal with ramifications around what we can say. It's like when the internet came out, all of a sudden we all had free reign to say whatever we wanted, and there was no consequences to it. And we're starting to see the consequences pile up. A couple other features of 2021 signify this, but in regards to Mercury retrograde and air signs, it's really this internal reflection around what it is that we say and dealing with like the karma and the ramifications of what it is that we say. Like, you know, everyone's so tough behind a keyboard and can like say whatever they want, but we're going to see more censorship, particularly as it results to like social media platforms and news in regards to being able to comment certain things, being able to make videos on certain topics. We're going to see more censorship from Instagram, more like kind of fact checking. It's like we won't feel as free to just say whatever we want. We're kind of having to deal with the ramifications of the weight of the written word. So we can expect more lawsuits around speaking out about certain things, more censorship from businesses, governments, things of the like. Now let's get to the juicy part. So I have good news. I bear good news. So Jupiter has been severely unhappy for a while now, ever since Jupiter entered Capricorn. He's not the happiest Jupiter because he, while in Capricorn and now in Aquarius, is answering to Saturn, because traditionally Capricorn and Aquarius are both ruled by Saturn. And Jupiter and Saturn are very much opposites. Jupiter wants to expand and Saturn wants to restrict. So Jupiter really isn't able to be the faithful, optimistic Jupiter that Jupiter wants to be, but he has a brief taste of it in 2021, and it does feel like euphoria. Jupiter will be in Pisces May 14th to July 28th. And Jupiter loves being in Pisces. Jupiter rules Pisces. So what can we expect? We can expect being able to feel more free. We can expect individuals to feel more spiritually open. We could expect the spiritual industries to grow even more so, more people to get even more interested in tarot and astrology and all of the things, a wide embracing of it. We can also expect decreased regulation around drugs, substances of all sorts, whether it's decriminalization or overall federal, legalization of things such as cannabis. And it's also just a really celebratory energy around having faith, having optimism that we're able to move forward in a really powerful way. And during this time, there's a lot of social energy. So part of it, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus will be in Gemini. There will also be a Gemini eclipse. Unfortunately, the Gemini eclipse will be answering to Mercury, which will be retrograde in Gemini. So there are ramifications for this, but I will say that there is a very social butterfly energy. So to me, this spring, summertime does feel like we'll begin to have lockdowns really, really subside. It does feel like this almost roaring 20s feeling of wanting to party all the time. Pisces rules substance abuse and drugs of all sorts, drugs, alcohol, all of the things. So it does feel like this major party energy. I definitely can see why after, the Spanish flu, why roaring 20s, they went so hard. It's that sort of energy in spring and summer. So it does feel euphoric. It feels like an escape. It feels like a party. So I will say, please do what you're gonna do responsibly, please. Also, a little bit during this time is we have this really, really steamy Venus-Mars conjunction in Leo, no less. So that'll be taking place June 27th to July 21st. And this feels like a renaissance. It feels like this renaissance party time summer. With the Venus-Mars, it's people are hooking up more, people are going after what they want, people are stepping out, looking fly, dressing up, shooting their shot. When I look at this astrology, I cannot imagine that we're still in quarantine. It definitely feels like we are in the club. Friends, what do you think? Are you excited for 2021? What are you looking to build within your life? Make sure to check out my other videos that I've touched on. I did a video talking about with Jupiter and Saturn traveling together in Aquarius, what that means for your charts. You can find that below in the description. I would love to welcome you to my 2021 workshop. We'll dive in deeper to the themes presented as well as talk about your chart. And if you got any clarity, a giggle, a smile, a heart flutter, a shiver down your back, any response, if you wouldn't mind just dropping a like, that would be so appreciated. Subscription, only if I've earned it. Turn the bell on if you would like more cosmic content. My Instagram handle is @HaleyComet Astrology. I do a weekly forecast called Magic Monday. Just talk about what the week ahead kind of holds and how you can sync with that energy. Always under 10 minutes. You can just start your week with a little spiritual cup of coffee. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.